Yeah, you finally found the Hillbilly Voodoo channel. Now you can stop clicking that button and watch something that doesn't suck. In this week's video, we're going to figure out how to mount this PT Cruiser transaxle in our ultimate ATV Sherp style bug out buggy. Stick around, watch the Hillbilly Voodoo in action and see what we got to do to get this thing in here. So what the heck do we got going on here? Well, we're building ourselves a Sherp style ATV. Big tires, skid steer. You know what a Sherp is? Well, if you don't know what a Sherp is, you should probably go check that out. But anyways, we're building it out of what I like to call ground obtainium. That's all the junk that I have laying around here on the ground. We're not spending any money at all on this. Well, because we don't have any money, so. Anyways, what we're going to do today is take this transaxle that we had modified for a previous project. We've taken it and made it independent so that we can drive it with pretty much any motor. And this little input, it's got the clutch and everything on the inside. If you're interested in this kind of thing, you should probably check out, or subscribe anyways, and go back and check out all our other videos. It might give you some, well, some stupid ideas of your own to build some of this stuff. But anyways, we have a transaxle out of a PT Cruiser. We've already mounted the front hub assemblies, brake calipers, all that stuff, which is going to drive our big, huge Hillbilly party balloons here. So what do we got to do? Well, we got to build some mounts to mount that thing in there so it's not sitting up on wood blocks. After we get it all mounted, square, center, plumb, all that kind of thing in the frame, well, then we're going to have to modify some CV axles to fit in here. So I'm going to go wander around my piles of ground obtainium, see what I can find to start building brackets, mounts, all that kind of thing. So we're out here at one of the piles of ground obtainium, and we're going to see if there's some suitable candidates for building us some mounts and some brackets. We got all kinds of stuff here. We just have to decide what we want to use and what we want to ultimately gain out of it. So kind of looks like this piece of pipe with a bunch of junk welded onto it, and will probably provide us with some good materials for the brackets. You guys will have to excuse the peanut gallery in the background there. They seem to think that it's mating season, so yeah, they're over there doing their thing. It's pretty hard to shut them up. So yeah, we'll take that piece of pipe with all that metal on there. I don't really remember what it was for or where it came from, but it's laying here in the pile and it's right on the top. So we'll grab that, cut some brackets out of it, and we'll go from there. Well, I managed to salvage some materials out of that piece of pipe, and I actually found another piece of metal that was laying on the ground that I built these brackets out of. So what are we going to do with this stuff? Well, I have centered this transaxle in the frame here now so that when I build the CV shafts, they'll both be equal lengths, and then I can possibly build another one that for a spare, and it will only need to be like, we only need one spare, right? Because if we break one, then if they're both the same, then you can swap sides or whatever. You know what I'm going with that. So we got that transaxle all centered up there now in the frame, blocked where it's going to be. Where the CVs are going in will be pretty much, they'll be running on a straight line. So that should be a good thing. Now I'm going to take those pieces of steel that I made. There's already holes drilled in this upright for another idea that I had, but it didn't work, so we're going to reuse those holes. I'm going to take those pieces of plate, put them across on either side, and put that piece of pipe across. That will keep our little mounts here that our wheels are all mounted on. That'll keep them in an upright position, keep them from flopping back and forth a little bit. Add some more structural stability. Yeah, that's a big word, structural stability. So anyways, we're gonna put that piece in there, and then we will start building actual transaxle mounts off of that bar that goes across here. So I'm gonna stop yapping. I'm gonna put that stuff in there, and I'll bring you back when it's in there. Now that we got that in there, hopefully this bar that we cut is the right length. It's definitely tight, so that's a good thing. We'll put that about there. So we can capture this mount here with a piece of steel, come up and tie it into here. That will keep the front or the back, or I haven't even decided which direction this machine is going to have front and back yet. So I guess once we get this in here and figure out which way we're spinning the wheels, then we'll know which is front and back. But we'll cut a little piece for here and then attach it up to here. This was one of the original mounts, I believe, if I remember right. And the other mount was up here. And then there was one underneath, if I can remember correctly. Can't use this because this is where the shifter mounts to. All the shifter cable and things, we're going to use those. So, yeah, I'll weld that in there. Well, first I'll level it, which it should be level because everything else is level. So. That's damn close. It says level on the level, and we're, yeah, cool. Guess maybe we did something right there. So I'll weld that in there now. Anybody that's been following me along knows why I don't show any welding on camera. So, yep. Bring you back in a second when we get that all tacked in there, and then we'll figure out what we're going to do for a mount for here. I got our bar welded in there now. Well, it's tacked in there. I'm not going to do any finish welding or anything on any of this stuff until I figure out, well, for one, if it's going to work, and for two, if I'm going to have to cut it all out. It'd be easier if it's just tacked. So I'm going to do some cardboard aided design here. Create me a CAD file. Found another piece of steel, and it actually had holes drilled in it that were perfect. So that kind of was a bit of a fluke, but we'll build ourselves a bracket. I want to keep this bracket, excuse me, flush with the front of our adapter plate for the transaxle. So, well, just because. I don't really have a reason for it, but yeah. So, I'll start some drawing here. Yeah, got these things on my head somewhere called glasses, or maybe I don't have them on my head. Oh, well, we're just gonna fake it then. I can't really see what the hell I'm doing right now, so we'll just pretend everything's in focus. Yeah, we'll go with that. Kind of sort of looks like something. Looks like a mount. And we'll go cut that out of a piece of steel. We'll find something that's laying around on the ground there and we'll hack it out with our angle grinder and stick it in. Got our little piece chopped out there with the grinder and now it's tacked into place. Should hold this side of the transaxle up. Now over here was another mount. There's another mount over here. So I think I'm gonna take these two bolt holes. I have a piece of angle iron here and I'm gonna go off of those two bolt holes back to here and this will hold up this side of the transaxle. And then I can get rid of all that blocking and everything underneath there and figure out what I'm gonna do over on this side, hold this side up. But first I'll get that other top piece in there. And then I can, yeah, like I say, get all this other stuff out of the way and figure out what I'm gonna do on this side. So I'll bring you back when I'm ready to pull all these blocks out of here. Well, I got this top mount stuck in here now, and hopefully I can pull all these blocking and stuff out of here without this whole transaxle falling on the ground. Cross your fingers here. It's all the weight off of this end. See if we can get this there. Okay. What's that? What about that one? Ooh, that's hot. Well, it didn't fall on the floor. That's a good thing. Yeah. Cool. Now I can figure out where I'm going to come across here with the next mount. Got to kind of think about, well, what we're going to drive this transaxle with. We'll probably end up putting a sprocket of some type on here with a chain drive to whatever type motor we're going to use. Haven't quite figured that out yet. Haven't decided. So, but yeah, I think if we come off here somewhere, I'm not sure what's to mount under there. Maybe we'll come off one of the bolts that, yeah, that might be an idea. Come off the bolts that bolt our front adapter plate thing on there and come up with a mount for there. That'll kind of sort of balance it out this way. Yeah, quit touching that, stupid. It's hot. Yeah, let's figure out something to come across here. And then we'll go up with a mount from there. Sound like a good idea? Sounds like a good idea from this side. Maybe I'll go over there and figure out if it's a good idea from that side. Well, I managed to find me a piece of this channel. Well, it's not channel, it's square tubing that I had left over from the frame. It's the last piece and it just happened to be the right length. So I've tacked that in there. Hopefully that will keep the frame together and more sturdy. And I'm going to come off of this tube to this bolt to attach the bottom of our transaxle. And I got a piece left over of that angle iron that we built the other top mount with, and a couple pieces of that chunks of that truck frame. So we'll come off of here like that, but we're gonna have to make it so that we can bolt it and unbolt it from this tube. Well, we don't have to make it that way, but I want to be able to unbolt it from this tube and unbolt it from the transaxle. So yeah, we'll cut a little plate for here, weld it on, and drill some holes and bolt it on there. Probably won't bore you with all the drilling and bolting and stuff. I'll bring you back when we have a mount built here. Now, I'm feeling the need to rant a little bit. I had some family over this weekend, and I had my granddaughter watching YouTube on my YouTube channel, whatever the hell you want to call it. So she's watching her cartoons and stuff, and this morning I flip on YouTube and my recommendeds pop up. There's all kinds of weird things on there, but you know what? There's all kinds of really, really good stuff on there now too. I was very entertained by all the different things that popped up. I wasn't just watching rich Mormon tow truck drivers and those kind of things. There was actually some really, really good channels that popped up that maybe didn't have a huge amount of subscribers, but there was a lot of interesting and entertaining stuff. So if you guys are out there and your recommendeds keep popping up the same crap over and over and over again, well, I don't know, maybe go watch some Curious George or some cartoons or something, and maybe your recommendeds will pop up with some maybe not quite so known channels like Hillbilly Voodoo, and you too will be able to watch something that doesn't suck. So end of the rant. I'm gonna go weld and drill and make something here, and I'll bring you back and show you what it looks like when I'm done. We got our little brackets built here and got the bottom piece welded in now. Let's hope that this all fits together with the top piece. Looks like we got our transaxle mounted there. Let me do the obligatory shake. I think maybe now we should, listen to the ducks quack. No, I don't got any grapes. Now we should measure for our CV shafts and see how much we're going to have to shorten those. I'm going to measure from the seal surface to the back of the bearing surface here, and hopefully if I've done this right and mounted this transaxle correctly, both these shafts will be the same length. So cross your fingers, and hopefully we're really close anyways. We have exactly 16 inches. Yep, exactly 16 inches on this side. So I'm going to write that down here so I don't have to do it again. Now, let's see if we screwed everything up here or not. Wow, I'm exactly 16 inches there too. There's absolutely no skill involved here, guys. This is all fluke. I mean, I planned for it to be this way, but plans are things that you make and other people screw up for you, or ultimately you end up screwing them up. So now we're going to make these CV shafts 16 inches in length. Now, I'm going to have to think about how I'm going to do this for a while. Originally, I just wanted to chop them in the center, shorten them up, put a shunt or a stint around them, and call it a day. But I think maybe I might disassemble one of them and see if I can actually cut splines in the... Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. So I think I'm going to leave this video here, figure out what I'm going to do with these CV shafts. And until next time, guys, use what you got to make what you want, and have a good day.